Hey YouTube, so this is my first video ever for the Haves and Have-Nots. Tonight was the season premiere. I'm really not sure if this is, what season this is, maybe the third season, maybe even the fourth. I don't know right now. But, the episode was kind of moved a little bit slow. But I kind of expect that for the first episode. Since you guys don't really know my take on the haves and have-nots, I'll just give you a brief background on like my overall feeling of the show. I did not watch the first season, but I binge watched it. Like I didn't watch it live as it was going, but I binge watched it for a couple days and. I was into it, but there was like these odd breaks in the show, but then I still stuck to it. And I continued to watch as the show would come on TV like live at that point, and it got better and better and better, and I absolutely thought that last season was amazing. So a few of like the big moments from last season that really had me on the edge of my seat was when Candace and Jeffrey, they killed Quincy. But it really was self-defense. Jim had like all these people killed, and he also has it set up for Veronica to get killed too. But Veronica, well, let's just say the Harringtons and the Criers, excluding their kids, they all went to jail. Because Wyatt and Jeffrey basically ratted them out about hiding the car and basically covering up the murder of the little girl and the hit and run with Benny. So anywho, in this episode, it starts back up at like the crime scene at Candace's house, and Candace is like, she's trying to remain calm, but Jeffrey is flipping out. Like, Jeffrey is not about this life at all. And she's like, you have to calm down. You have to calm down. He's like, no, we have to call 911. They'll believe us. It's self-defense. And I'm thinking, like, I really don't think so. Like, maybe, like, if you were Jim Crier, they would believe you. But you're just Jeffrey Harrington. So, sorry, I gotta fix my hair. Anywho, so... she's just trying to calm him down. She tells him to drink. I think that she has a method to this madness, and perhaps she wants him to drink because that will calm him down and he won't flip out as much and he won't make like impulse decisions like the decision he made to call the police. When he called the police at that point, he had to Candace had to snatch the phone from him, and then she went ahead and like put it down the disposal so that the signal couldn't be traced and the police wouldn't show up. Meanwhile, she's trying to come up with a plan to figure out what to do with Quincy's body, and Jeffrey's like, the only thing we can do is call the police, and Candace is like, no, we will go to jail. And he was like, no, basically like Jim wouldn't do that to me or whatever, because she was like, this would be perfect information for Jim to find out. And then he's like, no, Jim wouldn't do that. She's like, well, your mom would. And that shut him up real quick. So anywho, it takes us back to like the campaign office, and Maggie's assistant, I forget his name at this time, but he had his feet on the desk, and Maggie's like, get your feet off the desk. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get what is Harrington's name? The man, Veronica's husband. Well, whatever. We're going to get him out of jail. Of course, we all know that she's lusting over him. She's not in love with him. She's lusting over him. And she wants a man like him, but she doesn't really like know him to really be like in love with him. But so I think it's pure lust. But anyways, so she's like super like anxious, and it's like, hey, you're gonna plant this story. Basically, we're gonna pin everything on Jim and Veronica. And so her assistant is like, what, are you trying to get him out of jail or get him out of his marriage? And she was like, well, both. So she's kind of tripping at this point, but she has the blackmail picture of Veronica and Benny when they was getting it on in the car. So they can use that as evidence too that she's had relations with some of her clients, and basically like she's a real shady person. So whatever the case, he's like, okay, are you sure you want to do this? Whatever. I think that's going to come back very bad on her part, and ultimately she's trying to break up their marriage so she can get in there, but it never works that way, honey. So anyways, speaking of Veronica's husband, I wish I could figure out his name. What is his name? Okay, anyways, well, I'll skip his part right now. The part in the jail where Veronica and Mrs. Cryer, they were basically like about to get put in jail, but they had to get rid of all their jewelry and all that. So it's just a lot of like smart aleck back and forth, some shade here and there. They were like, they told Veronica, your hair. She was like, what about my hair? Honey, that is not real. And it looks very fake. So, whatever the case, she had to take her wig off and she had her braids. And then Mrs. Cryer is looking like, oh my gosh, I thought that was your hair. I thought that was hilarious. Because, truth be told, like, most white people think like that. Like, this is your hair. Like, when I started my job, I had extensions, like, super long extensions, and then I took them out after like 2 months, and they're like, oh, you cut your hair, and I was like, yeah. But anyways, so she thought that was her real hair. So later on when they're in jail, she was like, so are we gonna talk about the hair? And then she's like, no, like, you know, she just don't know. So whatever. At one point, Benny calls Hannah, his mom, and was like, you know, where are you at? I really need you to come to the house because you need somewhere to stay. The social worker has been trying to get in touch with you. She already knows that the house like blew up from when Quincy had ran the car into it. So she's trying to find you because it, like, if you can't prove that you have a place to stay, then basically they're going to come take the baby again, little Quincy, and then he's going to end up in foster care, and this is your opportunity. You got him, so you need to keep him. And she's like, that house is evil. And he was like, no, I got the deeds checked by a lawyer, Veronica. Hannah wasn't happy about that, and he was like, no, it's legit. I can really make this business work. I can get all our bills paid and everything. Hannah doesn't want to listen. Obviously, ultimately, she's going to end up in the house because she's not going to want to risk not having her grandchild with her. Anyway, she had told him that she's at a hotel, and he's like, you can't even afford that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, any other essential part of the episode? Oh, Jim and Mr. Harrington. So they're in jail. They're in the same cell together. Keep in mind that they are trying to hold back them from like getting their one free call as long as possible, because the DA is trying to figure something out, and apparently she has some history with Veronica Harrington, which I personally think that she must have used to have been with her husband, or she's always wanted her husband, or whatever. So her being in jail is like perfect. You know, everybody wants him, so whatever. So anywho, they're in jail, and basically like Jim and Mr. Harrington, like they're going back and forth and basically threatening each other. He's like, your wife is horrible, she doesn't love you. And Mr. Harrington is like, I love her with everything in me, I will protect her. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I wish Maggie would have just showed him the dang pictures, because she is an evil person. Like, one thing about me, this is my opinion of the show, I absolutely hate Veronica. Like, her character is so freaking evil. But at the same time, like, in every, like, movie or show or whatever, if there's, like, a hero or there's, like, a really good guy, you kind of need that villain. So, without Veronica, I don't know, like, how the show would last or what other drama would come along. I mean, there's drama with Candace, but Veronica is, like, another type of evil. Like, I don't know that she loves anybody but herself. So, it's quite sad, but, you know, whatever the case, they're going back and forth with that. Clearly, they're going to have some beef. And Mr. Harrington was like, I warned you, whatever hit you have on my wife, like, call it off, or it's going to be a problem between me and you. So he's still in, like, protective husband mode. I understand he doesn't really know that his wife is, like evil to the core. I mean, he knows she's evil, but not evil to the core. Anyways, the episode ends with, like, Jeffrey was freaking out. Candace was trying to get rid of the body. Meanwhile, Quincy's phone is ringing, and it's his sister calling to see if he got little Quincy. She doesn't know that he's dead. I really think that the police picked up a signal from his phone. His sister must have, like, called the police and said that he's missing or something. They picked up the signal from his phone, and that's how they ended up at the house at the end of the episode, and that's when Jeffrey is freaking out. Him and Candace just got out the shower. He's freaking out because he sees red and blue lights, and they're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Candace is like, chill out, she hasn't came up with a plan yet. I don't know, I think it'll get juicier and juicier. Apparently she has nosy neighbors that knows another guy was in there, so the police are gonna come in there at some point, so we'll just see. But let me know what you think. I hope you like the recap. My overall review, the episode, I mean, it was cool. It moved slow, but it was cool. I tried to put my opinion in every now and then, and it was cool. Not too much to say. I kind of expected more, but I have to be reasonable. We got a lot out of maybe the last 3 episodes last season, so they've given us enough to hold on to, enough to keep me interested and continue to watch. So if there's anything I left out, just let me know. Or anything you want me to add or cut down on, whatever, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Till next time, see you soon. Bye.